Welcome back to Nico Robinson Chris channel, and this time I'm going to bring you the most toxic Nico Robin ever that you have seen, with the aid of Impel Down's card from OP02 to be specific, like Magellan and all of the 3 event cards that you might not be familiar with at all despite their super old cards. So let's see how you do against Blackbeard. Like if you have watched the latest video in my channel from my partner about the introduction of the latest structure deck for Blackbeard, is super awful, but we can do it in defeating Blackbeard. So let's see how these cards would work like magic. The first card, the cost 5 Magellan card from OP02, with an on-play event that -1 down, your opponent has to return 1 down back to the down deck. So if there happens Blackbeard forgot to activate or deliberately don't activate the leader's event, you can ruin their game plan to play Blackbeard, the cost 10 Blackbeard on time in turn 5. And sometimes it might prevent your opponents from using Dot Q to KO Magellan because they have to return 2 down cards, which means they get slower by 1 turn. So here comes the other event cards that maybe fewer players would try to adopt, like Hydra, that can minus your opponent's characters by 3k power during that turn, and Judgment of Hell, which can be a very nice counter card that decrease your opponent plus leader's power by 3k each. And the last card, Venom Roll, which helps you to add 1 down. So together with Nico Robin's leader's event, sometimes you might add 2 downs in 1 single turn. But what I like about these 3 cards is that they all share the same trigger event that if your opponent has 6 or more down cards on their field, they have to return 1 down cards back to their down deck. If these cards aren't toxic enough, here's an additional poisoned element from OP12, Reiju, that if you have 4 or more event cards in your trash, which is easy with Nico Robin because you will trash card for leader's event, you will activate triggers, so that it's simply a cost 4 character, but when it's on field, it's a cost 9 character with 7k power, plus the fact that it is a blocker. So it's quite tough for Blackbeard to KO in some sense, except he got the cost 4 event card, like Black Hole. Now we are seeing enough of poisoned toxic cards, and here's the deck list in general, pretty much like the one that I built or one of my previous videos on live control. Check that out if you haven't watched that. And some new cards like Kikunoju be helpful in times to help you to add more characters on field. So here's the first match against Marshall DTH. I got a chance to choose going first or second, and I would choose to go first to give him an illusion he can set his game on plan. So just quite sad that I didn't get Magellan in my hand during my first turn. Hopefully I can get that in my second turn. The good thing is I got the Flame Dragon King, the card that I like pretty much, to help me to rearrange my life. So still cannot get Magellan. Hitting him with 6k, discarding 1 event card with triggers, that's Hydra. It could be useful in against Bagas in times, but for now I try to play slightly aggro, so I might not need to hit his character, but just hitting his life directly moving forward. So with 2 downs left, enough for me to play out Flame Dragon King, and not many players knowing that what these 2 downs mean. So I bet pretty much he would attack me. And like I said, now I got 3 of the Impel Down event cards. So I would rearrange at least 2 of them, because next turn he'll add his 6 downs turn. So at least 1 of these event cards will work out. So even though I don't have Magellan, it's still fine. Now he plays out Dot Q. Alright, my on-play effect got negated. He is smart, otherwise he'll get 1 more down field. Anyways, I would still play out Magellan because he plays out Dot Q. I want to put him in an embarrassing situation that he doesn't want to KO my character. And let me try to hit him with a 6k swing, which is a banish attack as always. So he didn't use his blocker, didn't throw any counters away, so he just have 3 cards left, and I end my turn. And it takes him some time to examine my card. Maybe it's quite fresh to him to see a Nico Robin plays out Magellan. So 4 cards in his hand now. Trust me, he would hit my life and I would get my first trigger card to return one of his downs. He better use at least one of his downs, otherwise it would just be a wastage. Okay, he just play out Tempest Kick, draw 1 card. Because he doesn't have 10 cards in trash yet, he couldn't reduce my Magellan's cost by 3. And very soon, I activated my first card with trigger in my life Hydra. He has to return 1 downs. So good news that at least he used some of his downs. And Labu. Okay, he is afraid. Otherwise, usually Blackbeard would have activated Labu's effect using Dokyo's effect to KO your opponent's cost 5 characters. So he doesn't want to lose 2 downs at this moment. So what should I do? He just have 2 cards in his hand. If he wouldn't want to take this banish attack, he would like to use his blocker as expected. Then another 7k attack. I bet he will take it because he has 1 more card in his hand now. And time for me to play out Rosinante? Probably not. Kikunoju might still be good at this scenario because when you get KO, I have 1 more life, which means I can still play with more turns against Blackbeard, especially he got slowed by 1 turn because of my trigger card effect. Alright, what he's gonna do? KO my Kikunoju? He should. Otherwise, it's very easy to put him into a dangerous situation where I get 3 attacks next turn. So as expected, hitting my life once again. I don't know what this card is. Okay, another Flame Dragon King. Not much useful trigger for now, so I would rather keep this card. And he plays out the new cost 7 TH from the new structure deck, which can KO 1 of your characters just like Jack with cost 3 or below, but is something searchable through Blackbeard's card. Okay, I would attempt again with a 7k banish attack swing. I don't think he has cards to defend that, or even if he has to discard all. Okay, he took that. Another 7k attack, keep on pushing pressure to him. Okay, he took that, just 1 life left. I still haven't had 4 event cards just yet. Not wise to play out the latest Reiju for now, because it's another cost 4 character that can be easily blown out by Labu. So rather, to slow him down from attacking my life next turn, maybe I will play a Rosinante as a bait, so to use his Labu effects to KO my Rosinante, and I just have to take 2 attacks from his leaders and from the latest Blackbeard. Actually, at this point in time, if I were him, I might try to blow out Magellan, and like I expected, he would. But the thing is, I got quite lots of counter event cards, like Gum Gum Giant, a easy 4k defense plus 2 new cards, and I got another Reiju. So if things goes well, next turn I can play out 2 Reiju. That might put him helpless. So it's 2 cost 9 characters with 7k attack. So he would like to take away my Magellan so much that made me suspect he might not have much counter cards in his hand, non-blockers. So this makes me want to save this Magellan pretty much, because to be honest, if I don't have to drag the game too long, because next turn he could have played out the cost 10 TH, which could be quite troublesome. So now he just have 5 downs left. Does he have any blocker? Seemingly not. This is my new age, trying to seek for some more cards. Laffy, seek more. but just have 2 downs left. Nothing. The stage card finally. And discarded Kuzan, which has no counters. So I bet at this point in time, what he has at most could be like 3k counters. But to play safe, and now I have just 8 downs because I activate twice in a row, Gum Gum Giant, or else I'll have 10 downs this turn. So 9k attack. If he wants to defend that, he has to discard all cards. So my game plan is if he really discard all cards to defend, I would play out Reiju. But he didn't. So, an easy victory with 11k attack plus the event card 200 million voltage Amaru. And I know you want to see more, so quickly let's come for a round 2. And this time, I go second. So, the fact that Marshall did teach going first would have him feared out because he couldn't play the cost-10 blocker on time. It took him some time to think whether to mulligan as well. So finally we can start. I got not much to do, so I might just simply pass. I would love to have Flame Dragon King, but I couldn't get one, so I took that. It got a trigger to discard 2 cards to add 1 life, but I think it's too soon to use triggers like such. And he plays out the cost 2 blocker. That at times I didn't quite like. And my turn again, I got 4 cards. I will simply attack once, or maybe it's good for me to add 1 more downs and another downs with leader's event. So next turn I will have more downs to try to play out more characters or more power in swinging my attack. And he gave out his blocker very quickly. So I guess he's that kind of conservative player, like to defend against each and every life, especially it's a banish attack from Nico Robin. So do I, because I got no on-play effect as expected, so I discard my cost 5 Nami right away as a 1k counter. And now it's slightly embarrassing. I got 8 downs. I can't play out 2 characters at once just yet, like Rosinante plus Kikonoju. This is a great combination, by the way. So 7k banish attack, he finally took that. Another 7k, this time can help him to add 1 more card into his hand, if he took that. I think he would, because that would give him 5 hands in total, which is pretty resourceful. Okay, now at his 7 downs turn, he has a cooldown that cannot be KO'd by effect. And let's guess what he's gonna do. I think, okay, stronger, minus my Luffy by 3 costs. Cooldown attack, should I take that? Maybe. And the exact same trigger that made me hesitate to activate at this moment still. So I'd rather keep it. So with my Luffy, got only 3 costs left. I think it's quite easy for him to pull out. Yeah. Right, sniper. Another -3. Then Doku maybe? Yeah. So I got my Luffy KO'd. Another 5k. Should I defend that? No. Activating my trigger effect from Judgment of Hell. So he has to return 1 down back to his down deck. So that didn't make difference, he could just still play Teach by turn 6. But good news is he still got 1 down less to use next turn. I'm not sure if I ruined any of his plan. He still have 3 downs remain active. I'm pretty sure TH didn't have much event cards as counter. So what I should do now probably is to save myself, because I just have 1 life left. So I have to play rather safe at this moment. Maybe trying to hit him with a 6k attack to see how he reacts first. He just have 4 cards in hand. If he doesn't have any 2k counters, he have to discard 2. That might be the reason that make him hesitate for a while. Okay, 1k. Another 1k, Bagus. If I were him, I may not discard these 2 cards because they could have been powerful characters to be played on field next, and I'm not going to KO him anyways during this turn. So anyways, I play out Kikunoju so to increase the number of characters that can attack. And he just activated his stage card effect, getting another Luffy. I think for Tish, if you just have 2 cards left in hand, one of them must be the cost 10 blocker. So quite easy to calculate how much I should put into each leader and character to make sure every hit counts. And now he has to decide whether or not to blow up one of my character. Say Kikunoju, he wouldn't, because he didn't want to help me to add 1 more life card. So my Rocinante is going to be KO'd. A 5k attack. I can easily defend with Gum Gum Giant and add 2 more cards back to my hand. That's safe. Okay. Now I know he got a card that has no counter at all, so just a 5k banish attack from leader would remove 1 of his life card. And Kikunoju could do the same as well. Because, like, I'm pretty sure he will play out the cost 10 Martial Teach next turn. So he will likely to have just his leader 5k attack, Fang Ogre twice with 6k attack. And with the number of event cards on my hand, I should be safe, especially with Rocinante. I can activate 2 more downs during the end of my turn. So I wouldn't die, or unless he tried to attack me with all his characters, like placing 4 downs into Lafitte or whatsoever. But I think I would still be doing okay, especially I have that Reiju blocker, which is 9 cost and 7k. Okay, that's the black hole thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It can neglect my effect, so it falls back to a cost 4 character and got KO'd easily, and is still trying to play defensive, KO my Rocinante. So that's his last chance to use his leader to KO my Kikunoju, or else I should be able to KO him next turn. He had 5 downs left, but he rather chose to activate Lafitte effect. Is he that confident in KOing my Kikunoju? I don't think so. Unless he got another blocker, that would be another story. And he got 3 downs into TH, 8k swinging my Kikonoju. Flame Dragon King, simply a 4k counter. He has 2 downs left, and another blocker. Alright, if I don't have anything to rush, might put me into danger. And luckily, I top draw Monkey D Luffy with Rush Effect. Test him with a 5k attack, he just got 1 hand left. If it's a counter, he must discard that. And he chose to use his blocker. That means he might not have even a single counter here. So another 6k. He's thinking. Did he has a counter? 2k? No. Alright. So, Luffy. All in. 11k attack. He couldn't defend that. So here's another victory. Now, the reason why I built this deck actually is not for fighting against Marshall DTH. I want to fight against OP Luffy, or you call it Luffy Snakeman, because he's still dominating in the OP11 environment by a lot. So here's another match that I want to show you how I play against OP Luffy, because I got a lot of down controls, and quickly you will know why I have to do that. Because all you know is that OP Luffy once get to the 8 downs turn, here's quite powerful and it's not a good idea at all to play in the late game environment against OP Luffy. Anyways, I swing him with 8k banish attack and took that. He just got 2 life left, quite motivating. And similarly, he would hit me with a 7k and I took that. Flame Dragon King, my favorite card. At this point in time, I think its trigger is not that useful. I might keep it as my normal counter card. And he play out Zolo Dulo. I can't KO this card, so let it be. I'd rather play Nico over and another 8k attack with just 1 down. And I discarded Kikonoju. So to compensate for downs that I have to return by playing Armageddon. And I bet this OP Luffy might be quite surprised why Nico Robin has Magellan in his deck. Anyways, he's at his 5 downs turn for now. So if Zolo Julo attack, he got 6 downs in total. Still quite far away from 8 downs in my opinion. But I'm also in a slightly dangerous situation as well. I just have 2 lives left, and he decided to use God Thread on my Magellan. That wasn't a wise choice, to be honest, because it will reduce his total downs by 1. And I quickly play out Kid, and by the time he still got just 7 downs at turn 4. And a few rounds of attack that I fast forward and I try to swing him with 7k and felt safe to play out the cost 6 Luffy, because by next turn he just got to 9 downs after his turn start. How unluckily, Big Mom had been in his hand, or he top dropped Big Mom, so my cost 6 Luffy quickly got put into the bottom of my life. But that's okay, I got Flame Dragon King, my favorite card. Now let's see what OP Luffy is going to do. I have my Rosin untap with 2 downs active. And there comes the attack where I would activate Flame Dragon King. So I can rearrange the order of my life so that I place back my cost 6 Luffy, so he wouldn't be bold enough to attack me once again with his Big Mom. Because otherwise, I would have another or 3 rounds of attack at least. So that makes me think that the fact that he didn't attack with Big Mom, he might not have much counters in his hand once again. So let's see. What's more lucky is that I got another cost 6 Luffy here. So testing water with maybe another 7k swing. If he took that, then I can safely play out the cost 6 Luffy here. But maybe I should hold out for 1 more turn to hit him with 10k instead. Even though he activated Gum Gum Giant, he still have to discard one more hand. And he took that, so I rather play out Kikunoju and leaving one down here for me to activate Gum Gum Giant just in case he could make it to hit me 4 times. So let's see what he's going to do. And because I rearranged my life, I know that at least the converted card is a chance for me to discard 2 cards and add 1 life, so I wouldn't die this turn anyway, I guess. So hitting me with a 9k attack from Big Mom. From here, I want to create an illusion that there's nothing much I could do by playing out Gum Gum Giants. And I was actually hoping that I could at least draw one more 1k counter, but I failed it too. But here goes the trigger card that I rearranged it earlier. And I create another illusion by discarding the cost 6 Luffy away. He thought that's the only cost 6 Luffy I had in hand, and I discarded that. So he might be less defensive in this way. So he play out another blocker, Sandy here, and leaving fall downs here. I bet he wouldn't use his downs to bluff me. And luckily, the newly added life card can help me to remove his Sandy right away. So what would you do if you were me? Gum Gum Lightning, right? Just using 2 downs to remove his blocker. Or maybe just test water with Kikunoju first. Usually he would just discard counters, any counters that he has. I wish that was another Gum Gum Giant, but I failed. Okay, so rather than playing out Luffy, maybe it's worthwhile to just simply place 8 downs into Nico Robin, hitting him with 13k attack. If he has 2 Gum Gum Giant, then I'm done. So first card, Gear 2, just adding 3k, and discarding 1k counter with Gum Gum Giant. Oh yeah, he got no more counters from his life. So I just made it with a 13k attack victory here. So thank you once again for watching till here. If you are still on it, truly appreciated that. And I have to disclaim that this deck I was building it for fun. It wasn't a deck list that would guarantee you to into a victory in your local store, but definitely it's for fun against UP Luffy especially. I love how they find it surprising that they can't get to down a turn by say turn 4 or turn 5 here. Anyways, if you love to see my content more, like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment on this video, and see you next time.